Man United fan here with me. What's your name?
Adam Roy.
How did you feel when Erik ten Hag got the sack? Were you happy? Did you feel bad for him?
Not really too happy, but...
So you weren't happy that he got sacked? Did you want him to stay?
I think if you look at the performances, it's not really the manager's fault. Is that you can only control the tactics to a certain point, but really it's the players' fault. Like if you look at Dalot missing, like Ten Hag really can't do anything about that from the weekend. So in my opinion, he just needs to get a hold of the changing room, and then it'll be all right. If he gets a hold of the changing room, and then sets pace on the players, then that's fine. Yeah.
So you think that this more lies with the players Man United's form? Which players for you stand out the most as underperforming?
You've got to put Anthony under there. He's not even making the bench in some of the games, so it's a bit shocking, really.
And Ruben Amorim, who looks set to be Man United's new manager, not announced as we're speaking now. What have you heard about him? What are your thoughts about him? Since you didn't want Ten Hag to go, how do you feel about this guy coming in potentially?
I mean, not too happy, but when you think of Ruben Amorim, he plays three at the back with, I think one of his wing backs are slightly attacking. And I think Mazraoui is kind of technical, so is Dalot. And a couple of players are also technical, like Luke Shaw. So the wing backs are fine. I think three at the back, that's fine as well. You can play Martinez and, what's his name? Oh, I'm a bit blank there. De Ligt and maybe Maguire. So three at the back seems like it would work, yeah.
But overall, you're not happy that they've got a new manager in?
Not really, no. I think that was a good choice for us. If you gave him more time, he'd definitely achieve. You know, I mean, winning 2 cups in 2 seasons? That was a big performance in my opinion.
Does it worry you that this manager was linked with Liverpool and they ended up going for Arne Slot?
Yeah, a lot, yeah.
Do you think that this guy can get United back to winning ways then? Competing for the Premier League, competing for trophies more than they have been competing in Europe?
Possibly, you know, because I think Ten Hag he did get Europe actually this season. He won the FA Cup, which successfully made us in the Europa League. So I think Ruben Amorim maybe he possibly can. It will take him a bit of time to settle in, but yeah.
I have got Manchester United fan and none other than talkSPORT's chief football correspondent Alex Crook's daughter with me. What's your name?
Annabelle.
And Annabelle, has your dad given you any exclusives about the new Manchester United manager?
Not really.
Does he give you any exclusives ever?
Sometimes when I ask.
And what was your reaction? Obviously, you're a United fan like your dad. What was your reaction to Erik ten Hag getting sacked?
I was relieved. I have been done with Erik ten Hag since the start of the year. But some people were like, oh, he wins a game. Oh, he's amazing. I was just like, no, just get him out of it. He's done already. Get him out.
And there's talk about Ruben Amorim coming in from Sporting Lisbon to take over. Is that the manager that you wanted to take over, or were there any other names?
There were no other names. I think he will be good as long as he doesn't follow the trend of the managers so far, which is they do well for some time and then they go badly and then everyone hates them. I just want him to just last for a while.
So just be consistent. He doesn't necessarily have to start with a load of amazing wins, but just start consistently and keep progressing.
Exactly, and build up a better team. Yes, our team's good, but it needs to be developed more and get rid of some players.
And obviously Manchester United, the owners, part owners Ineos, they could have sacked Ten Hag after the FA Cup final. They didn't. They didn't bring in a new manager over the summer. They didn't sack Ten Hag after the Spurs game. Apparently they've been talking to Amorim for a little bit of time now. So do you think that they've got someone in place that kind of makes it a bit better of some of the mistakes they maybe made before, or does that not cover it for you?
I think it covers some of it, but there have been a lot of mistakes that I think they could have rendered quicker, but they just didn't.
And obviously everyone's talking about Manchester United players that have got to impress now with a new manager on the horizon. Who would you say, there's a few players injured, but overall, 3 players that have got to impress to keep their place with Manchester United. Who are your top 3?
Rashford, Anthony, and maybe Sancho. Maybe.
Okay. And realistically, new manager, what do you think Man United could achieve? Obviously, we've not seen the new manager yet, but what would you like to see Man United achieve this season with a new manager?
I'd like to see us at least get into the finals of the FA Cup, but you never know, because it's Man United. It's an on and off thing all the time.
What's your name?
Kyron.
And I'm going to guess by the top that you're a United fan.
Yeah.
And what did you think when you heard that Erik ten Hag had been sacked?
It's kind of his fault, but the players at the same time, because he might have been setting like difficult tactics up for them, and the players just weren't doing them and playing the best.
Out of the players so far this season, who do you think has not been doing the best? They could be doing better.
All of them.
All of them. I think a lot of people would agree with you. If you had to pick, because now there's going to be a new manager, the players are probably thinking we need to be performing to stay in the team. Who are your top 3 players that have got to get better quickly?
So we've got to get Rashford better with his like skills and that to shoot, and then we've got Casemiro because he was a good defender in the midfielder, but now he's not.
And they need goals as well, don't they?
So Rasmus Haaland, get him back into the team.
And the new manager, well, hopefully the new manager has not been announced when we're chatting now. Ruben Amorim, do you know much about him?
He's a Sporting manager right now, but hopefully he's going to be the Man United manager.
And are you confident that he'll do a good job?
Yeah.
How did you feel when you woke up to the news or saw the news that Erik ten Hag was gone?
I think it is great because we gave him some time, couple of seasons. He hasn't performed. So 14 on the Premier League is not good enough for Manchester United.
A lot of people are talking about maybe the players are to blame for part of this. Do you agree with that, or do you think this is strictly down to the manager?
No, I think it's down to the players as well. Player needs to perform. Wearing that United shirt is not good enough. The performance every week is not good enough.
A lot of talk about Ruben Amorim coming in. Do you know much about him? Is that the name that you wanted, or were there other names?
No, I think I've heard his name because he comes from Sporting Lisbon. So, but I haven't seen anything about him. But that's something for.
He won Sporting their first league title in 19 years. I mean,
but Premier League is different.
yeah.
So, unless you get Zidane in,
Would you have taken Zidane?
I would have taken Zidane in. Yeah, definitely.
You think that he could have got a tune out of these players and got United back to winning ways?
I think so, but let's see what Rui does tonight.
And how do you feel about Ruud van Nistelrooy? Would you like him to have been given a chunk of time, or do you think a game or a couple of games is enough?
I think Rui should have got more game time. I would say so.
Maybe till like the new year, or
I would agree with you. So, but he's a legend of the club. What he has done on PSV has been great. But let's see what he does on tonight. So.
And a lot of players, there's a lot of talk about how people are going to need to step up to the plate now because they're going to have a new manager to impress. Who do you look at and think you need to start giving 10 out of 10?
Rashford. I think Rashford should step up his game. And what we saw with Bruno, I think he needs to step up his game as well. So,
are there any names that you think need to be gone under a new manager that has just not worked out?
I think Harry Maguire, Lindelof, I think those players should have gone.
Are you confident that this manager could get a tune out of somebody like Anthony?
I don't think so. To be honest, very honest, I don't think so.